Hello everybody and welcome to part 1 of my new series. It's going to be called, Is there a meaning or is there a purpose to my life? Now this is a question that has stumped many people for centuries. For as long as people have been alive, this question has existed. So I'm going to try to answer this question as best I can over the next couple of videos, and you can feel free to watch them, so let's get started. So let's pretend that the universe is like a paper airplane. Okay, obviously the universe is more complex than this, but just for the illustration, let's just use it so we can wrap our minds around it, because the universe tends to be too big for us to comprehend. So, now in the same way that a man studies and tries to learn more about the universe while living in it, let's say that there was a colony of ants, which is an analogy for human beings, that also studies the paper airplane on which they live. Now, they don't know why they live on this airplane. All they know is that they do. So they begin to study it, and they learn about the paper airplane, that it's made of certain chemical structure, that it learns all about the angles that it's folded at, all the geometry, what the paper itself is made of. But they haven't discovered why they are there, or if there is a reason to it. It would be quite impossible for the ants to discover the why from just looking at the facts. Even if the ants knew everything there was to know about the universe that they live on, the paper airplane, the question of why it is there would still be unanswered. Just like if you were to find this orange sitting on your bed one day, you could study it, analyze it, pick it, prod it, use a microscope and learn everything that there is to know about this orange, but still fail to know how that orange ended up on your bed. There could be many different reasons. For one, your mother could have put it on your bed as a lunchtime snack, or maybe the cat drug it in and left it on your bed, or even perhaps there's an open window next to your bed and the orange fell from the tree branch, rolled down the branch, through the window, and onto your bed, etc. But the fact is, through studying the orange, or the airplane, or even the universe, it will not give you the answer to why. You have to go outside of the universe or outside of the airplane to get your answer, which is hard to do since we live in the universe just as the ants live on this airplane. Now, in order to come up with an answer, these little ants have come up with two possibilities. For one, they explain how their airplane might have come into existence all by itself. A wind could have come, and through the right amount of pressure and the right circumstances could have bent it just into the exact folds that it needed to be to create this airplane in which they live today. This is a crude analogy, but you understand the point. The other possibility is that they came up with was that something or someone must have folded it in a certain way on purpose for it to work. Now, no ant can really say who is right and who is wrong, because no amount of studying the airplane or science can answer why. Now, in the case of the ants who say the airplane came to be by certain wind currents which blew it with just the right precision and pressure to make the folds in order to make the airplane, they come up with a scientific explanation of how it might have happened. Exactly what the wind pressure must have been, the correct angles which it might have taken to do it, but just because they come up with a way that it might have happened does not prove that in fact it did happen. In the case of the orange that ended up on your bed, someone could scientifically explain how it was possible for the orange to fall off the tree branch, with the certain physics bringing it rolling across the branch, rolling into the window, and bouncing right into that direct spot on your bed. But just because their calculations maybe have been all correct, or they're scientifically prove that it is capable, does that prove in fact that it happened? They cannot be sure that it happened that way. In fact, the orange could have been placed there by your mother, your brother, your sister, a friend, the cat, the dog, or a number of different possibilities. So even though some ants on this airplane have discovered a certain way that it could have happened, they still haven't answered the question of whether or not it did. And we find ourselves in this same dilemma today, whether or not there is a reason why or how it have happened. I'll move into our next topic in the next video. Look ahead for part 2 and entitled, Is There Meaning to Life? Part 2.